Hey guys, welcome back to Acting a Fool, where today we are breaking down my form footage from last week when I was playing at Champions Point with Grace. Now, I showed her some form stuff, and today we're going to review my own personal form and some things that I'm definitely doing wrong, so that this can be an effort to educate people on how to start throwing further, also as an effort to teach myself how to throw further. Because if I'm not watching myself back and I just keep doing the same errors, then I will never get better. And the goal, like I've said in the past, is to one day hopefully play in a tournament, whether that's amateur, hopefully one day pro. I don't know, but I think it would be really fun. But yeah, the disc golf community is really starting to explode recently, and I want to be a part of that, and I want to help other people be a part of that, and just kind of like bring people together through sport because I love sports, and having a community to be a part of is really fun. So here's the footage. I hope you guys enjoy it. I hope you guys learned something. Okay, so I have 7 drives in total that are in this particular video, and we're going to kind of play through and watch all of them. So this is drive number 1. I'm using a Felon off the tee, my Captain America Felon, the one that I told you guys about that I love throwing so much. And here is the footage breakdown. Now, my computer's right here, so I'm going to be glancing back and forth between you guys and my computer for now. So I'm going to go ahead and stop right there. As you can see, this is a pretty consistent thing throughout all of these drives from what I can tell so far, just watching the footage back really quick. But if you notice, first thing, my feet are not on the same plane, if that makes sense. Like, I have one foot that is straight and one foot that is cocked backwards. Like, my back leg is pointed one direction and my front one is pointed another direction. That already limits the amount of power you're going to have on your throw. So, because like what that's doing is it's not allowing your hips to snap as fast, which in turn will not cause the rest of your body to go as fast. And what you want to do when you're throwing really far is you want all of your muscles to fire and then snap your arm around, like all of your muscles going at the same time, and then your arm will naturally follow that, and then it's called like a lag effect. The way I think about it is like how a trebuchet works, where you have like all of the weight going in one direction that then causes the projectile to fly really fast and really far. Same exact concept here with your body and your muscles. So you want to be able to give your body the best chance to work as efficiently and fast as possible to limit the amount of stress on the rest of your body. I think what I'm doing here is I'm trying to use my arm too much to throw instead of like my whole body, which really limits the amount of power I have off of the drive. Following up on that, my stance is too wide. Like if I pause there, you can see that my feet go from like decently close together, shoulder width, to now I'm like leaning forward and my weight is completely dispositioned. I'm not on the balls of my feet. My feet are now kind of pointed in the same direction, but it's not great. My head is not following the rest of my body. My arm is completely behind me. My shoulder on my off arm is super high in the air, which is not good. And so like all of this together means that I'm losing power every step of the way. So I'm only ever going to be able to throw it 300 feet and not any further because I'm not allowing my body to do the work for me. And then lastly, when I follow through with the throw, you can see that like all of my limbs just go everywhere, which causes drag, which causes more resistance. You become less aerodynamic, which also loses you power. So pretty common theme throughout this video probably is that I'm just not doing most things right, which is really unfortunate because sometimes I can throw decently far. My furthest recorded throw is 400 feet, but I haven't been able to hit that since, and that was like a month ago. And all of these things are why. Let's move on to the next one. Okay, it looks like I'm throwing my newer Felon, my Saki Bomb Felon. Yeah, let's see if we have the same problems. Yeah, again, you can see that like I'm already reaching behind me. My head is still not in line with my body. My feet are in a better position so far, at least. We'll let this play a little bit more. Stance is way too wide. My off arm is at least lower and out of the way, but you can see that the disc is like in this armpit, which is not good. That's like, now you're having to work hard and you're having to pull the disc out in front of you instead of through you, which is not good. My step is a little bit shorter, not quite like we want. You can see that at least my weight is forward in this one, as opposed to like being back, but I'm still leaning, which isn't good. And then again was the bad follow through. Next up, I believe, is the Dark Maul. In the moment, I thought this throw was really good, but I think watching back, we're going to be not happy with the result. Yeah, again, stance is way too wide. You can see I'm like leaning with my head and my shoulder. I'm at least putting the weight forward, which I believe is good, but it's not like I'm not hinging my hips. I'm just kind of like leaning my entire body forward over my toes, which is not ideal. Decent release. It came out a little flat, but like in terms of like power, that's not really what we're focused on. My head was still snapped back. I wasn't following my body with that. Looks like my off arm stayed out of the way the entire time, which is good. And I believe my feet were like in line with each other for that throw, which is better. And then the bad follow through again. Up next, we have the Grace. And yeah, same thing. Stance way too wide. I'm not able to get like full rotation on my hips. The disc isn't so far wrapped around me in this one, which is good. And my feet are pointed the same direction. And yeah, now if I like go frame by frame, you can see that I'm like having to go around my body because my hips aren't able to snap because my feet are too far apart. See, like I'm about to release a disc here. Disc is out of my hands now and my hips are finally pointed at the direction that I'm trying to throw. So just like, that's the opposite of what you want. You want your hips to get to the target before the disc gets to the target, if that makes sense. You want to have like, I think it was Drew Gibson who said that like you want your belt buckle to face the basket before the disc leaves your hand. And he actually, if you are interested in disc golf content, there's another creator named Bodanza, which I can link down below, who has a series called Backhand Boot Camp with Drew Gibson, and they kind of talk through all of this stuff as well. And you'll be able to get a better idea because they do a better job of like breaking down each frame. And Drew Gibson explains it a little bit more differently than I do. I kind of explain it as it makes sense in my head. This throw ultimately wasn't as bad as the previous ones. It still wasn't great. You can see that like my limbs are more compact to my body as opposed to being flung all over the place. And I think in this one, if I go back a little bit, you can kind of see, but like my back leg is driving the entire time, which is also what you want. So ideally what happens is like when you plant your brace foot, you're driving with your back foot, causing your hips to snap. Like ideally shoulder width apart stance, you brace, your back leg starts driving so that your hips snap, which causes your shoulders to snap, which causes your arm to snap, which causes the disc to go really far. As you can see in this one, you can see that my calf is pretty flexed, which means that I was driving with my calf or with my off leg that time, which is good. But unfortunately, the stance was too wide, so I wasn't able to get maximum efficiency out of that throw. And then up next, I believe, is the Ape. Yeah, so I don't have a good record with this disc. I have found it very hard to throw this particular driver because it is so overstable. So in this one, I try way too hard to throw it far. and we can take it frame by frame. But you see my off arm starts going up and up and up. My stance gets so wide. At least I'm not leaning forward, but like I have no way of generating power in this stance. And my arm is completely wrapped around my body. I'm releasing it on Anheuser. And then like I'm trying to drive with my back foot, but it's just not able to create any power. My hips are at least starting to snap a little bit. And then there's the disc out of the hand, but my hips are still a fraction of a second behind it. But again, better because like I'm not flailing my arms and legs all over the place, right? And the important thing is that I'm not dragging that back foot behind me, because it weighs probably 40 to 50 pounds, and that's 40 to 50 pounds that the rest of my body is having to drag along the ground, which loses you power. So when you are throwing maximum distance, you drive with your back foot, and then as soon as it becomes like, as soon as you're done using it and it's no longer useful to you, you want to get it off the ground so it's not causing any drag for the rest of the throw. Next up is my new Zeta's Moon, super flippy disc, which means it should go really far. And it actually was my furthest drive for this little session. Looks like stance is too big. My feet are not in the same direction. I'm not putting it all the way in my armpit, which is good, but my off arm is super high. And yeah, my hips were late on that one as well. And then finally the Hades, which is my other newest driver. And again, off arm is pretty high. My head's not rotating back with the disc, which is causing my shoulders to be locked in place there. Stance way too wide, but at least my feet are pointed in a similar enough direction. And then because my arm was wrapped around me, I'm having to throw in an arc instead of through, causing me to be less accurate. And then there, the disc is out of my hands and my hips are not pointed right. Because like here, where I pause it, you can see that my back leg is still flexed, which means I'm still trying to generate power, but the disc is already out of my hand. So I'm effectively doing nothing, which is like ultimately not what you want to do when you play disc golf. You want every single aspect of your throw to be firing together so that you can, you know, have consistent and long drives. Like if you're wanting maximum power, this is not how you do it. You want to make sure that all of your muscles fire and are done firing by the time the disc is out of your hand, not after the disc is out of your hand. So this is just like a wasted throw, basically. And then I get super wide. Like you can see that leg comes all the way out and then finish there. So thank you guys so much for watching this little form breakdown. I might try and make like a little net situation in my apartment somewhere so I can continue to work on my form and record that, potentially upload it if any of you guys are interested. And then in a couple days, I'm going to go play a new course with my buddy Victor from work. So stay tuned for that. I'm going to try and record as best as possible, and hopefully the audio won't be as garbage as last time. So yeah, again, thank you guys so much. I hope you learned something today. Be sure to leave a like if you enjoyed, and if you didn't, that's okay too. I'm new here, so I'm just trying my best. But yeah, thank you guys again, and have a great night. Bye.